Ooh wee! So we are back again for another banger video, you guys. So it has actually been a whole month. A month since I put out the video about my budget EDC carry. And what I want to do is just real quick, I wanted to go over it, let you guys know after 30 days, how it's been going, how the stuff has held up that I chose from the video. If you have not seen that video and you're just watching this video, go back and you can see Budget EDC. But it's been a month since I put that video out, and a lot of this stuff is holding up true. So uh, I'm just gonna give my opinions on the budget stuff that I purchased, and how it's been going for me over the last month or so, and just let you know where I'm at. Yeah, um, everything that we bought, we were at about 450, so we still had a nice little window before we hit that $600 mark. So everything I got was supposed to be for 600 or below. So I'm gonna just show you what I added to the budget EDC and show you some of the stuff that probably wasn't the best decision or that I would revise. And one of the biggest revisements, I'm gonna go over it right now. So one of the biggest revisements I would do are these skull candy grinds. Um, you couldn't really expect much out of, I guess, you know, sub $16 headphones or however much they were. They weren't expensive at all. They were below 20 bucks. So you couldn't really have like a super high expectation of these. Um, the charging is the biggest problem. I've had the Skull Candy. Um, I forget what brand they are, but those had a charging problem as well. So Skull Candy, just in general, I don't think that their charging pods are that successful. This right one in particular, once you put it on after about 2 hours, 3 hours, then it's letting you know that it needs to be charged again, which is terrible. And it's supposed to have an 8 hour battery life once you charge it. As you can see, the left one's fully charged, but the right one is still taking a charge there. So for conversations, these things are great as long as you're in a quiet environment because they pick up everything. So I wouldn't advise against the skull candy grinds, man. These things, they're not they're not very good. Um, I revised the way that I put my keys on my ring. I situated them where my car key and my home key can be taken off, and then I can just keep my clip on my belt loop with a spare pair of headphones, and then my locker keys for work, and then this little uh, peel pod. Remember, I told you inside the peel pod, I was probably going to keep a little bit of paracord in there, and just as I promised, I got a little paracord wrapped up in there, and this is probably about 22 feet of paracord just stuffed all the way down in there and situated nicely inside of that peel pod there. And it's got a little rubber seal so it's waterproof. And that's just how I organize my keys. Of course, a hat. This is the hat that I purchased for like $6 or $7 or something. It's holding up good. Some people probably wouldn't consider a hat an EDC item, but um, I like hats as an EDC item because you could put something inside the brim of your hat, your ink pen while you're working. You can put something uh, in the top of your hat like this and then put your hat on, things like that. Or you could do a little something like this if you're in a precarious situation and you don't want to be found with a whole bunch of cash on you. So you could always do the little money trick inside the hat and then go ahead and just easily conceal that inside of a hat. So that's why I think a hat is good for EDC. Otherwise, I go through tons of hats every year. So, it's not like a one hat is every purpose, multi-purpose, because I'll end up wearing one to the gym, sweating it out or what have you, and it's just one of those things you go through a lot of them. Um, This belt has been holding up good. I like little nylon belts like this. Um, I'll put the brands down below in the comment sections because off the top of my head, I'm not going to be able to remember everything. But this is a brand that I'm very familiar with. This belt itself has been holding up. I thought I was having a little problem with the not ratcheting, but like the securement system for the belt because it's like a seat belt type of securement device. But it has to be positive. But otherwise, this belt has been holding up great over the course of the last 30 days. Um, Pepper gel, really not much to say about it. Haven't had to use it. I'm not sure what you would do with pepper gel so far as making sure that it works. Maybe you take it and spray a little bit, but I usually don't go through all that trouble. I just keep it in the lock position and have it just in case I need it um, in environments where somebody might be acting crazy. So just some Saber pepper gel. Pen, nothing again, nothing more to say. It's part of my EDC. A lot of times, what we'll do is we'll get a call from dispatch or something like that, and they'll change our work. And when they change our work, in order for me to remember stuff, I just jot it down, any of the changes that they make. So it's been holding up. I think the biggest thing with the ink pen is just that maybe if you're sitting down or something, or you flop down with this with this this type of pen, it doesn't really flex or want to break like some of your hard plastic pens. Um, this is the Slim Mini by Nebo. This thing for the last 30 days has not been put on the charger, so it is holding up well. Again, I picked this one because of the slim frame, and yeah, it's been working out good. It hasn't been obstructing anything. Again, if I get out the car at night, I could put this on the collar of my shirt or something and press the button if it's super dark out and get just a little bit more light to light the way if I'm in a dark situation. This is the War Dig by Swiss Tech. Good action on it, still remains to be good action. Used it a couple times at work, a couple times opening up boxes, packages, bottles of water, things like that, and the action is still pretty good on it. The environment that I work in, because I am blue collar, I was, I do feel like it might have gotten the action might have got a little slower just because the environment I work in is kind of dusty, and maybe it's probably worked its way inside of uh, the the mechanical parts, that make the action smooth. So, but it's still smooth. Haven't had to sharpen it or anything, and it's a pretty good knife for $30. Like it. So, that's all the stuff that I carry. Now, these are all the things that I've added or revised to get closer to that $600 mark. So we were about at 450. Remember, I in that last video I got a CZ P10S, and it was a nice pistol. I really liked the trigger on it and everything, but I found a deal. I sold the P10S. Yes, I sold it. In my state, it is perfectly legal. Sold it to another 2A member, and I got about, like, you know, I got a couple bones for it. I just give you an idea how much I sold it for, and what I got. So I end up getting rid of that one, and for only a $20 difference. For only a $20 difference means I sold it and I paid $20 more. I got the MMP 2.0. This is what I went with. Why did I change? The next question is, why did I change from the P10S to the 2.0? Well, first of all, um, the pistol height night sights that's on the rear, the tritium inside of these are damn near new, very good. Familiarity, because I used to carry around the Spec series for about 2 years. I carried around the Spec series, so I'm familiar with it. The grip texture is absolutely great. Oh, by the way, for YouTube purposes, this is clear. The grip texturing is still MOS, like the last one. Not too crazy about the trigger. That could definitely use some work, maybe later on. Trying to change that out. The takedown lever, the slide serrations are better than the P10 S's. Aesthetically, I think it looks better. A lot of things. So Um, I got this around $380. Only because it only came with one magazine, and this is what I'm going to carry now. Yep, that's all the reasons why I prefer this one over the last. So I spent the extra $20 on that. I spent $21 on a uh, level one holster for it on Amazon. I'm not gonna run a light on that because why? Why do I need to? You know, most self-defense situations, most people don't have the appropriate time to actuate a light anyway. So why would I concern myself with a light on, a EDC pistol? Now, is it nice? Is it aesthetically pleasing? Yes, but I think as time moves on, I think we're going to be getting away from spending $300+ on flashlights that only look cool, but in real life scenarios, as civilians, we're really never going to need. So that's what I also spent on that. So together, what are we talking about? 41 dollars, $42 in addition to the 450. I also replaced the glasses. I had Steve Madden's in the last one. These are just generic glasses that I got off of Temu. They're pretty nice. Probably spent about $3 for these. Just more so my style than the Steve Maddens. And the Steve Maddens were a little tighter on my temple than these. So that's that was $3. So we're probably about 45, $46 now. Um, it's just our mag for our pistol. Of course, running some self-defense rounds, a box of that. Like we mentioned, you could spend the extra money on a box of that. That was about $26 for the self-defense, for the box of self-defense ammunition. Another thing is I had a personalized lighter inside my kit, so I'm going with a more generic, the Bic lighter. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. With uh, the Bic lighter with the duct tape around it. Duct tape serves plenty of purposes, especially getting a fire started when it's nice and damp and wet outside. If you happen to need it, just a common trick amongst survivalists or people who go to the outdoors and things like that. But yes, sir. And it serves as a good fall protection. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit of extra cushion so you don't bust that lighter open should it fall real hard. That's another thing add on that I had. I think I already had the duct tape. The lighter was only like $3 or something like that, $2 or $3. Then, of course, I'm gonna roll what I didn't have last time. What I'm gonna roll with is I'm gonna roll with a nice rat's tourniquet. I like my kit to be nice and slim, so that's why I went with the rats versus some of your bigger tourniquets. So rats tourniquets. I think I got a set of four, 4 or 5 of these for like $8 or $9. But these are just the generic ones. They're not like the commercialized rats brands, but they work just the same. And there you go. I might actually dabble into seeing if I can't make some jerry rigged ones from the house. Another thing that I've also added is a battery bank. Um, this is Tech Theory battery bank. This thing was only like $10 or something, so I keep that on me. I usually wear cargo pants when I work. I'm usually working 90% of the time that I leave the house. If I am leaving the house to do errands or anything like that, my kit changes. I carry like a fanny pack or something like that, something that has more room to house something like this. But if I'm going to work, Man, a large percent of the time I have a pair of pants on that has multiple pockets, and I could keep something like this in there, or I could just take it with me and put it in my locker when I arrive to work. So in case there's an emergency or something, I can just go back to the shop and change out and get my battery and charge my phone, take it out with me while I'm out in the field, so I can get some extra battery life from my phone. Also, I purchased this because I was out one time and my phone completely died. And once I turned my phone back on, I realized that my wife had been calling multiple times. Of course, she needed nothing, but the fact of the matter is, if it were an emergency, my phone died. So always keep you some extra juice on you. And lastly, what I added to my EDC was um, a wallet. This little Bergrim, Bergrim, I guess is how you pronounce it. Wallet, and you get the little the cards down here. You push it up. You see, I'm a United Healthcare member. I had a wallet previously, and I had to just kind of go in that wallet and revise everything that was in that wallet because I was carrying a lot of stuff that I really didn't need. Now I think I'm only carrying like 4 cards. It probably looks a lot like a lot more, but I'm probably only carrying 4 cards, 2 debit cards, one being my main, another being just an emergency funds, my ID, and then a medical card, of course. So making things nice and simple. This is I think it's a R RIED or whatever the acronym is for it. So basically, nobody can use some sort of device and read your cards and steal your information and stuff while this is in your pocket. I'm pretty sure that probably happens in places like New York or something like that where there's a large multitude of people, but just having it as a second means of security to protect yourself and your identity and your money and stuff is always a good idea. So those are the add-ons. Of course, you guys remember the old kit that I was carrying with me and stuff, and this is the Budget EDC. And guess what? I'm still way under the $600 mark. So, man, oh, by the way, this wallet was $10 itself. So this wallet was $10. So I'm still way above, way below that $600 price point. So that's it, guys, man. I appreciate you guys stopping by, looking at the video, and checking out some of this stuff, man. This is my Budget EDC. I'm not sure how much longer I'll be carrying this. I might switch back to my main EDC sometime soon, or maybe I'll just hang on to this thing and for another 5 months and see how it turns out. But there's nothing here other than the earbuds that I would feel completely just blah about. I feel like everything is pretty solid other than the earbuds. So yeah, appreciate you guys, man, and check you guys next time.